There are two types of people in this world. Those who entrust their fate to others, and those who take their own initiative. Of course, I'm in the latter of the two groups. Car broke down, huh? Pretty careless. Well, he's responsible for his own actions. But they will criticize me for driving past and not stopping to lend him a hand. What seems to be the trouble?
Well, it looks like there's a problem with the carburetor. Do you know if there's a phone nearby?
Climb inside. It's quite the distance on foot. The Arthur Malthus country estate is just up ahead.
Oh, Arthur Malthus. That's the largest accounting firm in the UK. So unless I'm mistaken, you must be with them.
That's right.
I'm impressed.
What about you? You say you're an academic archaeologist. What college are you associated with?
I travel all over. I get hired on as a part-time lecturer. At the moment, It's a sparrow. Found it on the road. It looked weak and didn't seem to be able to fly, probably due to the extremely cold weather.
That bird should have been left to die out there. It is quite possible that was its true destiny.
Well, maybe. Can't say I'm an expert on true destiny. Ugly flowers survive just as well as beautiful ones. Nature allows for both poisonous and medicinal plants.
What a strange man.
Oh, James, at last.
Yes, this is Mr. Keaton. He seemed to be having car trouble, so I picked him up and brought him here. Apparently, he's an archaeologist.
Well, is that so?
Wow! We're on the ridge overlooking the famous Blackdown. Then that road we just took must have been the one referred to in Tennyson's poems. Ah, incredible. I got carried away. I'm sorry.
Let me introduce you. I would like to present Eugene Hart, chairman of the accounting firm Arthur Malthus.
How do you do?
Hello, sir. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Another partner.
My name's Harold Smith.
Hello, and I'm Pat Campbell.
And my name is Oscar Hammer.
So Frank hasn't made it here yet?
He's supposedly driving up together with Janet. There's no need to worry. The two of them are probably taking their time and enjoying the sights.
We're celebrating tonight because his daughter's fiancé is being promoted to full partner.
Well, isn't that wonderful to hear?
But we can't start this party until the honored guest decides to make an appearance.
If we have to wait much longer, these pre-dinner drinks are gonna go to our heads.
Mr. Keaton, if you're not in any hurry, please feel free to join us for the evening meal.
Thank you, that's very kind. But I should warn you, I've got a companion.
This chap is no ordinary archaeologist. It's really quite surprising how well he's fitting in with this group.
Do you like Tennyson's poetry, Mr. Keaton?
Yes, Lord Alfred Tennyson. I think he's the embodiment of English romantic poetry.
An archaeologist praising verse.
Being accountants hasn't stopped us from appreciating poetry.
I read a lot of it back in my school days.
All that idealism and passion.
I even penned a few poems myself.
Oh, I'd like to hear them sometime.
No, you can't make me do it, Eugene. It'd be torture.
Sir, there's a phone call from Mr. Ivory, the lawyer.
Tell him I'll call back later.
He did say it was urgent, sir.
That's all right. I'll take it. The client said they would assume responsibility. If you can't settle this today, I'll have to let you go. We don't have any time for incompetent lawyers. Understand? Huh? What is it?
Do you mind if I use your telephone?
Oh, yes, of course. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Weddings cost.
Yes, I wish I could write this one off.
The chairman is brilliant,
These are
but the
so
rest are nothing but
expensive.
incompetent yes-men.
Yes,
They were
it's
made
true.
partners
When
on
my
account of their seniority, not their expertise.
What? No way. You can't get here until tomorrow? I can't wait that long. Isn't there anything you can do?
Well, why don't you just spend the night here?
I'm so sorry.
Mr. Keaton, didn't you think to check your vehicle before you took it on the road?
No.
You should try to be more careful. You could have been stranded and left to die in this freezing weather, you know.
I suppose.
Now, come on. Nobody's perfect, you know. Not everyone can be as smart as you, James.
And this is very unusual weather.
Yes, I hear it's quite warm in Eastern Europe.
To think, Eastern Europe saw its socialist systems reduced to rubble within a mere 6 months of the Berlin Wall coming down. I suppose they had it all wrong with their aspirations of communism.
It's an illusion to think that humans are all equal. There are differences in our abilities, a society that has a mandate to channel the skills of exceptional people. That is the ideal society.
However, in your model of civilization, the weak would be left behind.
I see nothing wrong with welfare and aid for the sick, the elderly, and the children. But if those with true abilities are held back by incompetent people, then society will grind to a halt. Just take a look at the Eastern European countries.
What does the archaeologist think about this?
Unfortunately, it's true that throughout history, many civilizations were built by the few wielding power over the masses. I can only hope that future generations will try something different. Anyway, considering I can't even check over my car, it's probably not my place to say.
This one too, huh? How can a person go on if he has no confidence in his abilities? I suppose he's someone who's put his fate in the hands of others.
Your daughter Janet and her fiancé Frank have arrived.
So, our guests are here.
Oh, Daddy, I'm so sorry we're late. We would have got here sooner if I'd driven, but Frank insisted, didn't you?
Oh, now, I wouldn't have wanted my precious Cinderella driving on that ice. I promised to get her carriage back by midnight before it turned into a pumpkin.
What a beautiful woman she is. And her fiancé looks like he could be a movie star. I have to say, they make quite the match.
Who is that gentleman?
Mr. Keaton, an archaeologist. His vehicle broke down earlier.
Well, is that so? Hello, I'm Frank Miller.
Taichi Hiraga Keaton.
I'm sure this must be kismet. How about a toast to celebrate our budding friendship?
What a shallow person. It's just his looks that set him apart from the average man. And he uses them to get engaged to the chairman's daughter and rises to a position beyond his abilities.
Aw, how sweet.
Not half as sweet as you, my dear.
Oh, Frank.
Here, Frank. This is for you.
That's very kind of you, James.
Oh, I'm sorry. Now come back here.
Your trousers, I'll find something to wipe that off.
Oh, no. Really. I'll deal with this myself. Thanks.
I'm really sorry.
Allow me to offer a toast to Frank Miller, welcoming him as partner to the firm of Arthur Malthus, and also to congratulate him on his engagement to this lovely young woman, Janet.
To
Frank
Frank
and
and
Janet.
Janet,
Good on you.
congratulations.
All the
Well
best.
done.
Thank you, everyone, for your well wishes. I will be counting on you all to show me the way.
He certainly is young to be a partner at your firm.
You said it. He's young and ambitious.
Oh, come on now. I still have quite a long way to go. It was only a matter of luck that I had the most seniority among the executives. In terms of ability, however, James is better than me.
Is that right? You must be known as a capable man, James.
Oh, yes. It was about 10 years ago. One of our clients approached us with a situation in which they were having to relocate plant operations as a cost-cutting measure. The problem was that even though the company would not be taxed in Malaysia, they would unfortunately be obliged to pay UK taxes.
I would like to make a proposal here.
All right then, the floor is all yours, Mr. Kelling.
Chairman, I don't need to remind you that he's completely new to the consulting division.
Please go on.
First, they set up a holding company in Brunei. They'd be tax-exempt, not only within Brunei itself, but in Malaysia, Hong Kong, and even the United Kingdom. Yes, with this holding company, it would appear, at least on the books, that their head office is based in Brunei.
His strategy was a phenomenal success.
It's almost like magic.
Yes, it was something that hadn't occurred to anyone back then. And after that meeting, there was no stopping him. In just 10 years, James has reached the highest executive level below that of full partner. Usually that takes about 25 years.
Having someone like you on my side really does give me a lot of strength, James.
Oh no, Frank. I rely on you too.
I wouldn't mind feeding the little guy just a bit of this delicious bread. Do you have a pair of tweezers or something?
Yes, of course.
There. Eat and get your strength back.
Lucky you, little bird. Not only did he rescue you from the harsh elements, but he's treating you to some fine dining.
It's so true.
So, speaking of harsh, the accounting field sure seems to be a competitive environment. With that level of stress, there must be people who don't survive too long. I'm sorry. Have I touched on something unpleasant?
3 people in the past 10 years, all considered to be very ambitious men.
Were they victims of heart attacks or something?
That's right. You might call it death from overwork in an atmosphere that's fiercely competitive.
From overwork? There was no doubt about the cause of death?
Why doubt? What do you mean by that?
Well, there was a rash of murders overseas using poison from the Japanese monkshood plant.
Monkshood?
It's true.
What's this? Why would he think to bring up such a subject?
So what you're saying is that poison from the monkshood was used to commit murders as a means of collecting the insurance money?
Uh-huh. And so rumor has it that Lloyd's has begun reviewing all cases in this country over the past 20 years that had been deemed inconclusive or suspicious.
But if they suspected that the 3 members of our firm had been poisoned, how in the world would they go about proving it?
It's difficult to find any evidence after a body's been cremated. But even if the deaths were thought to be heart failure and they were in fact poisoning, there would have been symptoms of vomiting, salivating, agitation, and dilated pupils just before they died.
Could we not talk about such an awful subject? We are in the middle of dinner.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was rude of me. It was just idle speculation. I wasn't suggesting anything. Please, forget it.
What would you care to drink, sir? Tea or coffee?
I'll have a cup of coffee, please.
I think I'll have some coffee as well, thank you.
And I'll have my usual, thanks.
That would be Russian tea, would it?
Yes.
Wow, Russian tea, huh? Maybe I'll try a little of that, too. Yes, that'll hit the spot nicely.
Very good, sir.
Frank always has the Russian tea with a little apricot jam in it.
Yes, my mother used to make it. Janet says I suffer from a maternal complex.
You're bad-mouthing Russian tea with jam? I could get hooked on it. Wait just one moment, Mr. Miller. You mustn't drink that. In fact, everyone, please don't touch your cups. I'm going to have them analyzed.
Tell me what is going on here, Mr. Keaton.
Sir, I'm an investigator with Lloyd's. I'm here representing Lloyd's in its review of inconclusive cases over the past 20 years. The 3 deaths from your firm have been given priority. Mr. Kelling, please don't touch Mr. Miller's cup.
Are you saying that those 3 were poisoned?
That's insane. Who would have murdered them, and what possible reason would they have?
One person climbed the ranks faster due to those deaths.
What did you say?
What? You're accusing James? That's completely ridiculous. He earned his position through his own abilities.
Isn't that right? 4 years ago, didn't a Mr. Atkins die on the night of his promotion, and didn't he happen to be a rival of Mr. Kelling's?
So what exactly does that prove?
6 years ago, Mr. Davis died, and 9 years ago, Mr. O'Neill died, both before they were promoted. And it's also been reported that they experienced the same symptoms of poisoning I described earlier: vomiting, salivating, agitation, and dilated pupils. I didn't want to come up here and unjustly accuse your Mr. Kelling, not until I saw the belladonna from his hometown.
Belladonna?
It was the poisonous plant used to assassinate the father in Shakespeare's Hamlet. The active ingredient is atropine. The tiniest amount will cause death. I believe Mr. Kelling can confirm that he lost a twin brother to belladonna poisoning.
But that doesn't prove that James had...
I'm only saying there's a possibility that those 3 men did not die from natural causes.
Mr. Keaton, are you seriously suggesting that James is making an attempt on my life? That's a terrible joke.
James, you don't have to worry. I trust your word over his.
Mr. Keaton, I don't intend to put my fate in your hands. Only I have the power to decide my destiny.
What?
You're terrible, Mr. Keaton. Now apologize to Mr. Kelling.
Wait for me, Victor! Come on now, hurry up, James! What is it? What secret thing did you find? See? Don't they look good? They're as black as Grandma's shawl. Bet you they've got lots of nutrition, too. Come on, have some. Ew, it's bitter. What's wrong, Victor? Hey, I'm a birdie and so are you. Now, let's go and fly, James. Stop that,
That's right. My brother died, and I managed to survive. My brother won at everything. He was better than me. Could the fact that I survived have been luck, or was it my true destiny?
Listen, James, you have great ability.
Yes, you're the pride of our firm.
Yes. I came to realize that it was true. I was the one with the superior talents. That's why I was the one to survive. I then convinced myself of it. I'm an incredibly unique individual. Yes, I was the chosen one. Better than anyone. Yes, I was the best.
The signs of atropine poisoning. Hurry, you've got to vomit.
Why would an extraordinary man do that?
In a secluded mansion, an elderly painter is haunted by childhood nightmares. And upon awakening, he finds he can't escape from a real-life nightmare. Keaton is stopped cold before he manages to rescue the prisoner, but it doesn't prevent him from trying again. However, what crime has the man committed? Next time, The Highlands in Your Eyes.